Hi all, welcome to the channel, welcome to the workshop. It's a great day today because we have a new build for the channel. Yes, we now have the first two stages of the Power Rangers Megazord. So let's get into it, let's get building.
Welcome to the workshop. Tools are ready to play. We're gonna build something great, starting here today. Piece by piece we go now.
Right, so here we are, the Megazord. Quite excited about this one because this was my childhood, watching the first lot of Power Rangers growing up. And here is a smaller version of the Megazord. So this is what we're obviously going to be ending up with, and I'll show you this probably as we go through this build and just compare the size of the parts that we get. So this one is, I think, the original 1994 Megazord. Not from my childhood, I should say. I got this not that long ago, to be fair. Something that, again, little collector's item. Although I say collector's item, it's just out on a shelf because it looks brilliant. But let's get into what we've got from Fan Home. So we get the usual little purple leaflet. The journey begins here, and we get our little welcome letter. And then, as we usually do, we get a introduction to the model, and it tells us all about the model and obviously about the series as well. And as you can see, it does all conform and transform as the TV show. And you can see that we do get some free gifts. And we apparently get a premium brace. It looks like this for subscribers, so I'm assuming we will get that as part of the subscription. And then if I open this up, we have an absolutely ginormous poster of the Megazord. And as you can see, it just goes through all the different detail bits, metal and ABS parts. We're pretty much used to that. Detailed parts, amazing definition, painted and great attention to detail. We have the Tyrannosaurus dinosaur, we have the Mastodon, we have the Pterodactyl, we have the Triceratops, and we have the saber-toothed tiger. So that is the introduction. We'll get into the magazines in a moment, but I just want to show you these parts first. So this is what we've got. I believe this one is issue 1. Just have a quick double check. So yeah, issue 1. So we'll flick through that in just a moment. But so this is obviously the front part, or technically lower part of the pterodactyl. Now, if I take the same part from my smaller one, you can see the difference in scale. It's absolutely ginormous. This will be a 60 centimeter tall model when it comes to it, when we're finished. How tall is the current Megazord? This Megazord is only 28 centimeters. So it's going to be more than twice the height and twice the size of this one. Right, so issue 1. So let's have a look through the magazine. So we've got here, it's called the chest shield there, but we know that's the lower half of the pterodactyl. So it looks like we're only doing a couple of little bits, nice and simple. And then it looks like we've got a bit about the Red Ranger. And then it looks like we're going to have bits about the issues. So episode 1, for instance, tells you all about the cast and about the episode. And that's issue 1. Right, so here are our parts, and this is metal. We have a piece of plastic, and we have another piece of metal, looking just like that, looking very, very nice. And we have a set of screws. It doesn't actually tell us what these screws are. We don't have any lettering or anything like that. According to the instructions, they are PWM screws. Now, I've obviously noticed that unlike a lot of the builds we do, there's no free screwdriver this time. But I do have my iFixit screwdriver, and that'll be perfect for doing this. I've got a PH 0 bit in here at the minute, and that'll be perfect for these screws. And the very first thing we're going to be doing is taking our 2 red parts like this, and we're going to be joining those together, just like so. And we've got 2 of these PWM screws. Now, we are going into metal, so have dipped this into a little bit of oil. And again, all I use is WD-40, but any sort of oil to help cut the screw into the thread will be beneficial. So we get that tightened all the way. Now I am being a little bit careful of lifting this up off my workbench, but in future I'll probably use my part that upgrades mat. But that is what that piece is looking like. And then we have this piece that's going to go in here, and it's just going to go over all of those lugs, like so. And we've got 8 screws to secure that in place. Again, same screw, we only got one type of screw this time, which is the PWM screw. So I'll get all 8 of these in now. Right, we've got the last one just going in here. And that is what that is looking like at the moment. Now, we don't need to do anything else with that at the moment. We can put that to one side. But just before I do, I will do the comparison. So we've got the toy version, and we've got the large scale model version. You can see it is easily twice the size of the toy version. And you can see how the pterodactyl will form eventually, like that. So we'll have the wings coming out here and the head and the tail all mounted here. But looking really good. Right, so we move on to issue 2. And you can see we've got the head assembly that we're starting on. And it looks like we already have an LED for this one. And also looks like we've got all the bits separated out, but I'm sure probably just mock those up a little bit and show you the helmet. We've got Zord on. And then we've got episode 2 here, Fear of Heights. And it looks like it goes through a weekly episode by episode. And then we've got the origin of the Power Rangers. So we've got two types of screws. This one, again, not labeled, we've got black and silver screws. And it looks like we've got two types of silver screws. We've got longer ones and shorter ones. So we have the longer ones, which are PM screws. Then we have two PMB screws. And then the black ones are PWB screws. So we'll obviously need to pay quite close attention to which screws are which when it comes to building this. We're going to start off with that piece and this piece, which has got a bit of protective plastic over the top of it. And that's just going to go in like that. And we're using the black PWB screws for these. These are just plastic, so you don't need to worry about any oil. Just two of those. Like so. We have this yellow piece that's just going to slide in there. And I'm going to fix that with one of these black screws as well. Just in there. So that's the top looking like that. And then we have this piece, which you may have heard is metal. And also this piece. And this is just going to go in like so. And then we've got the PM screws, which is the longer of the screws, the silver screws. And we've got one going in here. And one going in here. Like so. We then have our circuit board, and having it this way up with the connector facing down, that's just going to sit there like so. And we're going to use one of the PMB screws, and that's one of these flanged silver screws. Now we are still going into metal with this. It's just going to go in there, like so. Then we're going to actually put these two parts together. So that's going to go and fit more like so. Just line those pieces up like that. So that's going to be an IR receiver, I guess, and this is slightly translucent. We're going to use the PWB screws. They're just going to go in there. And just in there. So it's nice and secure in there, like that. Next we're getting this piece, and again, metal. And the visor. And that's just going to slot in like that. Just a push fit. And that is actually all there is to do in this stage. So we've got these parts that we're not currently using. But I think we can make probably an educated guess how this goes together. And that's actually not the visor, because we've got the eyes here. So let's just quickly mock this up. So we're going to have that go like that. That's going to sit on like that. Not quite sure on these parts yet. Right, so making some guesses here. We've got some pins there. That's obviously going to sit in like so. Still not sure on these two pieces at the moment. Looks like that will go together like that. Doesn't look like it might go something like that. Yeah, looks like that might go like that. Now this will probably hold the additional horns that come out of the back. Right, so that's going to go like that. And then that's probably going to sit something like that, I guess. In fact, it might even go. Yep, probably is going to go that way. Or it could even be lower down, could be the neck section. But that is looking pretty good as a head. And again, if I just bring over the smaller version of it, you can see how that is looking in comparison. Looking pretty good. And I reckon this piece is going to be the start of this black section here. So that's all there is to do in those two stages. And all there is to do in that first pack. But it does look really good, doesn't it? And there's obviously a reason that we've not put this part together yet. But it does look really good. Obviously, we've got the circuit in there for the infrared, and presumably we are going to have some LEDs at some point for these eyes. But I have to say, that looks pretty fantastic. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please remember to hit the like button below and give us a massive thumbs up. So that is an absolutely fantastic start to this build. If you do want to get this for yourself, check out the links below. Obviously, we've now got the start of the chest plate or the pterodactyl, whichever way you look at it. And we've got the head, the start of the head, or part of the Tyrannosaurus, again, whichever way you look at it. It'll be interesting to see how this builds up, whether we build up each individual Zord, or whether we do build it as a bit of a whole and see how it all comes together. I'm assuming that we'd probably build it as each individual Zord, and then we disassemble them and transform them into the Megazord that you see here. I might even give you a show of this one and how it all comes apart and goes together, because I think this model does a very similar way of building up and disassembly. So I might give you a show on that one at some point. Or it might be on a members only video that I just do that one. If you want to see more of how this progresses or anything else that goes on in the workshop, please do remember to hit the subscribe button and ding the bell for notifications. That way you'll know when I get the next build pack or anything else goes on in the workshop. That is absolutely free. However, if you want a bit of a sneak peek behind the scenes or get some early access to some videos, then there is the join button and you can become part of the workshop crew for a small monthly fee. And as I said, that will give you a little bit of early access to some videos and some behind the scenes content. So do consider doing that. And if you don't want to do that, maybe just check out some of the merch that I've got down below as well, and see if you fancy getting yourself a hoodie, a t-shirt, or something else. Until the next time, I'll see you around. Cheers.